At this time, I have the pleasure of awarding our scholarships for our program participants. I will be recognizing the Caterpillar Urban League Excellence Scholarship, the Methodist Medical Center Scholarship, the St. Julian Family Scholarship, Illinois Math and Science Academy Scholars, with a PowerPoint presentation. First is our Caterpillar Urban League Excellence Scholars. Nakaya Taylor is a graduate of Manual High School. She was involved with cheerleading, choir, civic leadership program, dance, key club, student council, student universal leadership team, volleyball, and TSTM. Nakaya joined TSTM during her 5th grade year in 2005. She held leadership positions as historian in 2007 and 2008 and secretary in 2011-2012. She says that she enjoyed the guest speakers and spring trips most while in TSTM. Nakaya has received many awards and honors. They include TSTM Honor Roll, Most Academic Sophomore, Sterling Merit, National Honor Society, Optimist Club Award, Prescott Bloom Service Above Self Award, and the Stan Kiley Student Council Award. Nakaya has received the Caterpillar Urban League Excellence Scholarship, Manual Alumni Scholarship, and Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Scholarship. She plans to attend Eastern Illinois University in Charleston, Illinois, and major in athletic training with a minor in musical performance. Ms. Nakaya Taylor. And if her parents are present, they can stand and get an applause as well. Marshante Culberson, this year's high school TSTM student president, is a graduate of Richwoods High School. She was a member of the Richwoods Gospel Choir, where she served as secretary, the St. Jude Club, Spanish Club, Earth Club, band, soccer, and the youth group at her church. She was also moderator of the ISHA Youth Leadership Conference, Tri-County Urban League Daycare Volunteer, and an active member of TSTM, where she served as both middle school and high school president. Marchante has been a member of TSTM since her 7th grade year in 2006. When asked what she enjoyed most about TSTM, she said that she enjoyed the experience of visiting historically black universities. She also enjoyed hearing and talking to successful African Americans. Marchante has received the following honors and awards: TSTM Honor Roll, Youth Doing the Right Thing Award, Blood Drive Award, Delegate at the National Urban League Youth Leadership Conference, Delegate at Bradley University Youth Engineering Seminar, and Delegate at Bradley University Alumni Youth Conference. Marchante has received the Methodist Medical Center Urban League Scholarship and the American Red Cross Scholarship. She plans to attend Southern Illinois University in Carbondale and major in biology pre-med. Ms. Marchante Culberson. And parents. Next is the St. Julian Family Scholarship. And would Mr. and Mrs. St. Julian please stand? They are the sponsors of this scholarship and their family, who also participated in TSTM. Alexis Bolden is a graduate of Richwoods High School. At Richwoods, she was a member of the Key Club as vice president, speech team, gospel choir, and tennis team. She was also involved with her church's youth group, Praise Team, and TSTM. Alexis joined TSTM in the fall of 2011. When asked what she enjoyed most, she said that she enjoyed the motivated speakers and adults that work with TSTM. She added that they seemed to have the best intentions for the youth, and because of this, TSTM had some really great events, such as the college trip, that helped to shape her future. Alexis received the following honors: First Place Award for Poetry Novice, Richwoods High School Speech Team, and most likely to be managing editor of a major magazine, a journalism class award. Alexis has received the St. Julian Family Scholarship, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Scholarship, and the Richwoods High School Teachers Casual Day Scholarship. She plans to attend Hampton University in Hampton, Virginia this fall and major in print journalism. Ms. Alexis Bolden. We also have the Illinois Math and Science Academy Scholars. The summer program for girls and boys is a 6-day summer co-ed residential program sponsored by the Illinois Math and Science Academy. Students entering grades 8 through 10 experience a unique residential program that is developed and taught by faculty, staff, and students of the school. Participants live in the IMSA residence halls and enjoy free time and organized activities in the evening. This year, the Urban League TSTM staff selected 2 students to receive a scholarship to participate in this program. The scholarships cover tuition, meals, lodging, and materials. In order to receive a scholarship, a recipient must be an active member of the middle school TSTM program and in good academic standing. This year's recipients are Jalen Hudson and Janae McLeod. Jalen is a student at Sterling Middle School. He is involved in orchestra, he's a violinist, soccer, and Math Counts Math Club at Sterling. He is also a member of the Proctor Recreation Center baseball team, Peoria Heights JFL, and TSTM. Jalen joined TSTM in 2011. When asked what he enjoyed the most about the program, he said that he enjoyed going on the trips. He said they were interesting and fun. Jalen was on honor roll at Sterling and received an award for Math Counts. A recipient of the Illinois Math and Science Academy Summer Enrichment Camp Scholarship, he will return to Sterling as an 8th grader in the fall. Mr. Jalen Hudson. Janae McLeod is an 8th grade graduate of Lindbergh Middle School. She was involved in Scholars Cup in 6th grade, Leadership in 7th and 8th grade, Scholastic Bowl in 8th grade, Proctor Recreation Center's Gyms basketball program, and TSTM. Janae joined TSTM when she was in the 5th grade. She says that she enjoyed the class trips the most. Janae honors and awards include TSTM Most Academic 7th Grader, TSTM Honor Roll, all A's in all classes in the 7th grade, TSTM Top Volunteer Award, 3rd highest in 7th grade, Honor Roll and High Honors 5th through 8th grade, all A's in French, 7th through 8th grade, Perfect Attendance, 5th through 8th grade, and Presidential Academic Certificate, a GPA of 3.8. A recipient of the Illinois Math and Science Academy Summer Enrichment Camp Scholarship, she will attend Richwoods High School in the fall. Ms. Janae McLeod.
It is with absolute pleasure that I am here. The irony of all of this is, as a child, I always wanted to be in TSTM, and I wasn't. You know, I was listening to Yolanda, and I realized that there is an internal dialogue that she and I have in common. I am a psychotherapist, so I speak from an emotional place. Instead of giving speeches, I have conversations. And so I want to have a conversation with you all today, because I think that where we're at in this time today as far as education, I don't think it's valued as well as it should be. And so I'm really, really, really talking to the children and also those that are not in school, and even the parents that may be considering going back to school or furthering your education. They say everything that you need to know in life you learn in kindergarten. Well, I didn't go to kindergarten. I didn't go to kindergarten. I skipped kindergarten. So everything I need to know in life I learned from my mother. Some of the things that I think are important for me to share with you all as part of my journey. My journey didn't come easy. You know, my parents divorced when I was 5 years old, moved from Memphis into Peoria, and everything was new. I moved with my 2 sisters, left my father, I was a daddy's girl. It was weird. My mother told me I told her that I hated her. I don't remember saying that, but I'm thinking, did I really say that? You know? But I guess it was a really hard transition for me. But the people in Peoria, my family, my new friends, really made it a little bit easier for me. You know, one thing that I remember, and I just really want like the teachers to be recognized, because I think teachers get a bad rap, because there are some really good teachers. And the reason why I stand here today is because I had powerful teachers in my life. I think of like my life in sixes. Now let me just give you all this disclaimer, because I have on 5-inch heels. And so if I get a little shorter, it is because, or if I start to wobble, it is because, you know, it's getting a little tough over here. But anyway, when I was 6 years old, I went to 3 different schools in the course of 1 year. I started at Lincoln. Some of you all remember the old Lincoln School. Well, we got some Lincoln people in the house. I started there, and they called my name over the loudspeaker all the time, and I couldn't understand what that meant. I had no idea what it meant. I thought that I was in trouble because when they called my name, I was removed from the classroom. Usually kids that are in trouble are removed from the classroom. And my next memory is another school, so I thought I got put out of the school. So I then was at Franklin School, any Franklin people in the house. So I was at Franklin School, and I was there for a brief period of time. And then we finally landed at Ting School. And what people used to say over the years, we moved every time the rent was due. But what was happening was my mother was transitioning our family. We were gaining stability. We moved here with my aunt and uncle, and as my mother became stable, our family became stable. From that point at Ting, things got really, really challenging for me. I was considered a gifted student. I didn't go to kindergarten. Well, I didn't stay there. I was there for about 2 to 3 weeks. And the reason why they were calling my name was because I was being recognized for my academic performance. But I didn't know that. As a 6-year-old, you have no idea, you know, if people don't break it down to you in words that you understand. I thought I was in trouble. And so because I thought that my internal dialogue, that's what I know now, I started to behave that way. And there was nobody in terms of my peers or the teachers at that time that said to me, you know, you can. I was younger than all the other students. I was confused about a lot of things, but I stayed the course. The next 6 for me was 6th grade, because that's when a lot of things changed for me. By that time, I was doing fairly well in school, but I was not at my best. And I thank him every time I get an opportunity to, because if it were not for Felix Lobdell partnering with my mother, Mr. Lobdell, my life probably wouldn't be the way it is today. He is that teacher that invested in me. He is that teacher that said, you will not give me B's. He would not let me give him B's. If I turned in a B, he said, you're better than this. Do it over. And it wasn't just about my academic performance. It was about me as a person. When it came to myself and my friends, if we walked in the classroom and our hair wasn't combed, he said, take your girl, go in the bathroom, comb your hair. You know, take care of yourself. And he was teaching self-respect and self-esteem and self-worth. He talked about things that I was familiar with. He was my first black teacher. And so he looked like me. You know, he talked about foods that we had at home, like ham hogs and, you know, and just that ethnicity, that urbanness, that realness that made me feel very comfortable. And, you know, I'm going to skip a little bit further and just take you on a journey of what my life has been like. And I'm really talking to the kids, because sometimes we think that our lives are tough until you hear the next person's story. And my story is not anything close to what I hear in my practice. But what we all have in common is endurance, is perseverance, is tenacity. My senior year in college, in high school, my mother gave me an opportunity to move to Oran, Missouri. I don't know if any of you have heard of Oran, Missouri, but I think there were maybe 80 people that lived there. And I said, I think I'll pass. So she said, well, you can stay with your sisters. I have an older sister, Beverly, who has also been my teacher. I should not leave that out, because although I didn't go to kindergarten, we played school every day. We'd go to school all day, and she'd teach us after school. She was always a teacher. We played school every day. And she set the bar high. And so although my mother moved to Oran, my sister became my mother in the household. Now, this is somebody who got straight A's her entire academic career. She got 1 B. I will not tell you all what my mother did when she got that B, but I'll tell you it's the talk of the family for generations to come. But the bar has been really set high for my family. My mother dropped out of school. She married young. She moved away. She was very, very intelligent and had goals of going to UCLA. But that senior year, when she left, we pulled together as a family. I have another sister, Bobby, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about Bobby in a little bit. But we pulled together. My younger brother, who's 12 years younger than me, moved with my mother. As a family, 3 sisters, we really did well. We really did well. And I'll tell you how Urban League helped me. Urban League helped me because during that time was when I got a job through the youth employment program. And I learned how to work with children, how to work with people with disabilities. You know, the truth is, the first person that I was assigned to, I thought, I don't want him. This is the kid that nobody wanted. Nobody wanted this little kid because he was slower than everybody else. He walked slower than everybody else. He looked different than everybody else. And there was something about him. There was something about the way I interacted with him, something about the way he glowed that did something for me. There was a time, but prior to my mother moving, where she lost her job. She was laid off. We lost our home. My friends didn't know this. They thought we moved again. But we lost our house. What my mother also didn't know during that time when she moved away, and I didn't want to worry her, I had 3 pair of pants. I had sisters, so we switched. You know, we rotated our clothing. But it was a struggle and it was a challenge. I played sports as well. My senior year, my coach told me, Kentucky State is looking at you for a full scholarship. And I said, wow, okay. He came back to me 6 weeks later and said, okay, we really need to set up a meeting with them. And I told him I don't want to play volleyball anymore. And he couldn't believe why. And I said, I'm just not interested. What I didn't tell him was I was pregnant. After I graduated from high school, with nobody knowing at the time that I was pregnant, my mother, again, was still in Missouri. My sister said, I got you. And she's always had me. All my friends went off to college, and I was left behind. It took me about 3 weeks after having my daughter to figure out I'm not staying behind. My daughter became my motivation, continues to be my motivation. My mother said to me, well, there's this college that they talk about called SIU. I think it's close to here. So I said, okay. So when my daughter was a newborn, I moved to Oran, Missouri. I went to SIU to visit. And I'm going to tell you all, particularly those of you that are in this program, there is a huge difference between being involved in TSTM and not being involved in TSTM. How I benefited is all of my friends were. All of my friends were. But I will tell you, you know, a leader will tell you where the bridge is out. So for you young people that are going to college, I'm going to tell you some traps. I'm going to tell you where the bridge is out. So if you need to jump, take another detour, swim across, I will tell you where some of those things are at. I'll give you my number. You can call me later. But anyway, so I went to this university. I didn't know anybody there. The truth of the matter is I talked about going to college, but I really didn't have a plan. I hadn't gone on college visits. I hadn't done any research in terms of careers. The most I did was I told people I wanted to go to Alcorn State. I had never even been to Mississippi. I looked in a book that, you know, and looked interesting, and I said, oh, okay, I'll try that school. I really had no idea. And the difference is I didn't have a sense of direction. You all have a sense of direction. This program is going to be so beneficial, not just to you now, but throughout the rest of your life. My circle is included by so many people that have been through this program. The truth of the matter is when I talk to them, they are shocked that I wasn't in TSTM. They go, you were in TSTM. I was not. I was not. Everybody says that, but I'm a beneficiary of TSTM. Moving further a little bit along, during that time of going to school, I got acclimated, and there were so many things that I did wrong. Financial aid. I had my mother fill it out, and she didn't fill it out right because we just didn't have that experience, and they denied me financial aid. So I'm a mother. I don't have any money. My mother I'm fortunate that my mother is helping me raise my daughter, and now all my money's messed up. So I've had to figure it out along the way, and I did. Just when I was getting comfortable, my father died. And I'm skipping a little bit forward. On my 21st birthday, my father died. That's when we talk about that internal drive, when you have to want it, because there's going to come a time when your parents are not going to be there to always pick you up. There's going to come a time when you're going to have to say, I've got to do this for me. There's going to come a time when you have to say, no matter what, there are no excuses. Failure is not an option. You have to have that in your internal drive. You have to have it. 6 months later, my sister died. I said, I have to do this. I have to do this. I looked at my daughter and I said, there's no other choice but to continue doing this. There's got to be something in you when those obstacles and when those things in your life come. They're going to hit you. You don't know where they're going to come from. Maybe it won't be that devastating. Maybe it will be a roommate that you have that's going through some things. But you have to have that internal drive that says, I'm going to push through. You have to have that. When I graduated from SIU, I was the first of all generations in my family to graduate from college. I knew then that I had to raise a college graduate. I knew then. So all the things that I learned, I instilled in my daughter. I'm proud to say that my daughter is the second to graduate from Southern Illinois University. The coincidence is, and I say all that and I share my story to say, that I continued with school and all those things, but to say that whatever life deals you, my father used to say that, with problems you solve them, and with situations you deal with, figure out which one you have and take action. And that's what you have to do. You're at a time where your friends often mean more to you, or you spend more time with your friends than you do with your family. Your circle is going to make a huge difference. It's going to make a huge difference. I have seen places and been places that I never thought I'd see. I've flown on a $50 million jet to Europe. I've been in the U.S. Embassy. I've been at the ambassador's house in Copenhagen, Denmark. I've been to some homes that I didn't know people lived like that. But that's what keeps you dreaming. When I think about my circle of friends, they're fabulous. Fabulous. There is something, and you attract people to you, and really we grew up together. I have a lot of friends, I'm very blessed to say, but most of them we've been friends since 3rd grade, 5th grade, 7th grade, and everybody has a different story. I have one, she just called me yesterday and she said, I just got offered this job and it starts at $365,000 a year. You wouldn't know that because she doesn't wear it, She's real. And that's what it's about, remaining true to yourself. I have a friend that from the time she graduated from college, she worked at a company that she didn't particularly care for. It was a great job and it was a great company, but that wasn't her passion. That's why it's important that when you look at your career, you want to focus on something that you love, and you may not know what that is. You may not even get a job in your field when you get out. You may not, but every job can line up and add up to your ultimate goal. I'm now a psychotherapist. The truth of the matter is I found my passion when I was 30 years old and got my master's. I didn't know, but I did know one thing, is that I couldn't do anything without an education, so I just kept going to school. You have to find what you love, because that's when you don't feel like you're going to work. You don't feel like there's never been a day where I feel that it's a burden. I love helping people. I love what I do. I love having balance in my life. You know, it doesn't matter how much money you make if you're not happy. It does not matter. You know, it's important that, you know, wherever you go in life, I have friends all over the country, all over the world, wherever you go in life, that you make a difference. Make a difference. Give back to the community. If you don't come back to Peoria, just don't ever forget where you come from. You know, I was born in Memphis, but Peoria is my home. So I'm dedicated and I'm compassionate. I work with individuals on parole and probation, you know, and a lot of times people will say, how can you do that? How could I not? How could I not do it? How could I not help people, you know, that have made some mistakes or made some, you know, some difficult decisions that weren't the right ones? How could I not give somebody a second chance? You know, when we think about programs like the Urban League that have been here, you know, since this program's been here since 1964, how does it continue to stand? Sometimes I'm sure there have been times when it was on a prayer and faith, you know? And when we talk about faith, sometimes that's all we have. Sometimes it's all you have. And if you don't have God, I'm telling you, if I did not have God in my life, there are some things there are some challenges in this world, especially working in the field that I work in. You know, some of you will go into some difficult positions where you don't always have the kindest coworkers. You have to be, you know, you have to be Christ-like sometimes, and you know, and you really have to know who you are. A lot of the things that Dr. Wright talked about, she's absolutely right. You have to have a sense of who you are and not allow other folks' mood to change yours. It is so important. I think that you all are fabulous. I think that you all will do well when you think about school. And I'm not just talking to the young people in TSTM, I'm talking to everybody. You know, 90% of success is simply showing up. Simply showing up. Show up to class, you know. I encourage you all to continue doing well. I encourage you all to step out on faith, to take risks, to believe in who you are, and then to reach out. Reach out and grab that person that may not be involved in those, you know, programs like TSTM, where they will gain the knowledge. You know, I'm very, very blessed and fortunate that I have people like that in my life. I'm very, very fortunate that I have friends that are always here for me. Very, very fortunate. I have a friend that's here today. I could be in Swampwater, Mississippi. If I called her, she's going to start crying first and say she's on her way. No questions asked. That's loyalty, and you need people like that in your circle, and she's going to start crying, so I'll stop. You know, I wanted to share my journey with you all, but I also wanted to say that I appreciate you all, and I thank you. And you don't know how much this means to me, for me to be able to stand in front of you all. It's just as much of a pleasure and an honor that I've had the opportunity. It just sort of reassures and affirms that I think I'm on the right track. Thank you all.